Not every day that you get a female-led power fantasy in mainstream media. Oh, wait. It wasn't every day in the early 2000s that you got a female-led power fantasy, much less one that was revered and withstood the test of time. And who would have thought? All you had to do was keep her from talking. And I tell you, my certainty of this game's quality is about as certain as I am that joke will not land well. Metroid Prime Remaster is actually a pretty empowering female product if you think about it. It won the hearts of millions of men, and 2 decades later used its success to pay for a facelift and keep milking those Nintendo simps for all they're worth. And what is more healthy for the average female than learning to sell themselves to a bunch of misogynistic, disrespectful wankers via visual media, am I right? To give credit where credit is due, I had no idea Samus was even a woman until Smash Bros. Brawl. So, dang, she even wins the progressive award of being as ambiguously gender neutral as possible. At least she did before the internet got a hold of her. Oh, God. All completely politically correct jokes aside, how about this remaster, right? Way to recreate all those fantastic elements of adventure and mystery, and not charge us the price of a brand new game for something that came out 2 decades ago, Nintendo. Maybe they actually are finally learning that profits can happen if you just respect your dedicated fans enough to offer them a reasonable option for purchase. Oh, what's that? Most of the GameCube library is still not available for purchase or via subscription to any of Nintendo's services? Well, keep your Dolphin emulators, boys. This might be a while. I have to applaud Nintendo for at least taking a couple steps in the right direction, though, in remastering this game. It really drives home all the ambiance and mechanical genius of a game that predated many other games that copied its features. Features that still play pretty smooth to this day. I almost forgot how innovative this project was for its time, implementing things that are staples in many modern games like elemental damage, an interconnected 3D environment linked together through an even larger map, save points strategically placed in that level design. Wait, am I just describing From Software games now? Games in this era were so much more focused on the simple mechanics and level design, things that have been lost in the vast landscapes of open-world gaming, and this game uses every nook and cranny to hide so many rewarding pieces of the puzzle. The more you find, the easier the endgame will be, which is a great incentive to give players. Also, this game existed in an era where games had more of a conclusion. Don't you just miss that? When a game has X amount of content and you can boot it up 20 years later and it's the same f***ing game, not something you have to perpetually pour all your time and money keeping up with it until it becomes your f***ing second job? I digress though. It all comes back to an experience that communicates a story. Games just have to add the step of a fun gameplay loop into the mix, and boy does gameplay loop sum up the experience of a Metroid game perfectly. Go here, find the thing, that thing will let you go here to find the next thing. It's simple, effective, and doesn't waste your time by making you spend 20 out of the 40 hours you play something walking across an unnecessarily large space that you could never find small hidden details in without a guide or the game pointing you to them with no player discovery whatsoever. Metroid Prime is a focused adventure from beginning to end that leaves the world building to its environment. There are frustrating challenges at times, but they usually are there to teach you how to be better. The variety of bright, colorful environments matches Nintendo's general standard of distinct level design. The enemies are balanced fairly well in regards to your progression, and like I said, it's largely up to you how ready you actually are. This game is fun. It makes you think. It gives you amazing ambiance. And makes the most flexible, sexy woman ever somehow more stoic and aggressive than almost any male protagonist I can think of in Nintendo's lineup. But, oh my god, guys, I don't remember this final boss being such a repetitive, tedious pain in the ass, and Samus only takes off her helmet at the end of the game instead of taking off her whole suit like in the end of the original. Fuck this game, 1 out of 10.